Good afternoon, everybody. It's another time. I'm coming here with a very critical information I want to share with you guys concerning what's happening in Zimbabwe right now. I'm not in Zimbabwe, but I know about Zimbabwe. It's a southern African country that was created by Rhodesian family after realizing it's a country with resources in the 1800s. Right now, as we talk, the country is in crisis. Imperialistic regime and policies endorsed on Zimbabwean people by colonial masters, they are thriving well and intact. The only thing that has changed recently is invasion by the Chinese people. And because Mugabe administration took the land from the colonial masters by force, fearless general, rest in peace, you better lose capitalistic investment on your land and remain with land and material in it, and you find a way of making use of them to better the life of your people. Right now, since the demise of Mugabe, Chinese companies are flooding Zimbabwe with intentions of taking over. Zimbabwe needs dollar, and they don't have it, and they cannot print it. The only option they have is to wait for the exchange and import in order for them to be able to generate income. It's saddening to hear that a particular group of Chinese people entered Zimbabwe, colluded with government officials, and bought piece of land and obtained mining license through forgery and manipulation. Right now, as we talk, the several families of African descent that were told to get out of the piece of land because the Chinese have bought it and they want to do mining. They have been uprooted from their ancestral land, and the government doesn't care, doesn't mind where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna live, or what they're gonna eat. They have been told to vacate. Occupation again, from British to the black man, now to the Chinese people. When African governments are going to Chinese government is sinking money to run their government, and then they're not sealing off the corruption loopholes, how are they going to pay back this money they are borrowing from Chinese governments? We need clear political structures and political goodwill in place in order for this mayhem to stop from mushrooming the way it is. Do we have strong African leaders who can stand and uphold the rule of law and give us what belongs to us? The minerals they are ripping off from Zimbabwe, they are being exported to China, and finished goods are being brought back to Africa to be given to us through credit system, which is owned by the capital owner. For how long are we going to be at the mercy of these intruders, these rodents? Why do we have black regimes in place and cannot protect the population? This makes me wonder, where are we heading to? And for how long will this political matrimony with the fallen aides shall go on? Does it mean Zimbabwe cannot stand on its feet and be able to establish its own direction and mandate? Is it that Zimbabwe doesn't have educated people with huge capital and in a better position to exploit these minerals and better the life of the people? If those minerals are processed and determined in Zimbabwe in a corruption-free environment under leverage of the exchequer, which is the government, then we should have the world-class food production, health standard, academic and education systems, of the world class in Zimbabwe. Living standards and living costs should subsidize immediately. But who is there to initiate these thoughts and create a way or a charter that will endorse the view of the majority, who are the poor people of Zimbabwe? This country has been in political turmoil for the last 15 years or 20 years since the time of Mugabe. And up to date, there is no way forward because there is a political stalemate. The political dissidents in this country, they are refusing and rejecting the opinion of the majority in the opposition, henceforth making it very difficult to establish government that is fair. This is a good example of the future doesn't hold anything in those countries unless there is a legitimacy from the population which owns the, or rather they are the custodian of the entire nation. We need to evaluate ourselves before we allow these people to come in. Chinese are worse than imperial colonial masters. These ones, they are armed to the tooth. It's you give me the minerals, I give you the money. Failure to do so, I take the minerals. It is coming in the form of the loan. If you default, they go to the mining. And because they loaned you $600 million US, then they, and you are the political figure in the government to run the government, then they compromise on the businesses, whereby they also want to do mining in your country. And because they borrowed you money, you cannot say no. That's what is happening in Zimbabwe at the moment. This situation makes me wonder, where are we heading to? What is the purpose of African Union? What is the purpose of SADC? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Can somebody with a clear mind comment below and tell me what is the purpose? I need a bold explanation on these matters which are affecting, because we cannot continue living like this. This is intolerable. We cannot. The ordinary person doesn't understand. We are left with the crumbs and the little dinner is on the table. African leaders are still in political bed with the Chinese, who are going to become the future colonial masters, and they will change the constitution and allow these to thrive. Look at Sri Lanka, what is going on. It's the same case happening here in Africa. Daddy, it's going to continue like this. Look at my son. He's a little child here. Think about it and then you let me know. I'll come again. Continue watching the tea.